It only gets worse for the call girl, allegedly. She has now dropped so far that the latest episode didn't even get to where the first episode was. So it's just boop, 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 boop. It's just fallen. And why? Because I heard the first episode and I didn't even have to bother to hear the last two. It's boring. There is nothing of value, and it's unfortunate. This woman is so delusional. She believes that everything she says is so profound and everybody needs to hear it, that she needs to get a whole new podcast. And no. And what's going to happen after this? She's going to do something else. Why? Because of Harry's money. So the latest podcast didn't even crack the top 200, the latest episode. And that's horrible because if you're talking about someone that claims to be such a power player in society and have so much influence, and you can't even beat 200 other podcasts. And then not only that, it gets even worse. They lost to something, and this sounds pretty good for people that have sleep problems. They lost to something called Sleep Cove. It helps listeners with guided sleep meditation as well as sleep hypnosis. Well, when I heard Meghan's first episode of a couple weeks ago, that crap was putting me to sleep. Literally, by the end of the episode, if you go watch that on my Substack, I was just bored out of my mind. So, I mean, hey, something called Sleep Cove, that could actually add some value to someone's life. The latest episode, and there it is right there. There it is right there. And this isn't anti-women. It says right there, the latest episode of the Female Empowerment Podcast. How many people actually want to hear that? And that's because my audience is mostly women, 95% women, maybe 98%. So you're a woman. Answer that question. Do you want to hear a podcast about Meghan Markle talking about female empowerment? 1 for yes, 2 for no. And for me, it's going to be a big old number 2, same way she takes on Harry's chest, and he loves it. That's what I think. I think that this was a bad decision on top of how many bad decisions that she's made. And why does she do this? Because she lives in a bubble. She doesn't realize what sells, and she doesn't realize what will play well with the public. And this has to do with yes people also. Like, let's say, right, you're with Meghan and you hear her coming up with a stupid idea for a female empowerment podcast and you're on her team. Wouldn't you tell her, Meghan, I'm really sorry. It's not that really great of an idea. Maybe we should try something different. Right? But what I think is everybody on Meghan's team, they're all like, oh yeah, Meghan, that's a great idea. A podcast about female empowerment and female founders. Oh yeah, Meghan, you should really do that. They're lying to her. They're lying to her right to her face, and she pays them. And you want to know what? Let's just say, for the benefit of the doubt, let's just say maybe one of them says, hey, Meghan, that idea kind of sucks. She probably gets mad. Don't you ever say anything about my ideas. Don't even try it. And you know what? As a matter of fact, you're fired. Get out of here. So then they're all afraid to give her a real opinion. They're all afraid to tell her a female empowerment podcast might not play over well. Right? So then they end up being yes people. And then this is what happens. It doesn't even crack the top 200. And a podcast about sleep beats it out.